Good evening. We've got some more of the very warm, sunny weather to look forward to during the rest of this week. The warmest place today was Cardiff, where the temperature got up to 28 Celsius, which is 82 Fahrenheit. That's an easy one to convert. The warm weather continuing into tomorrow and again on Tuesday and Wednesday inland, but it's always going to be cooler around the coasts with afternoon sea breezes setting in. Now we've got high pressure with us. It's going to stay with us for much of this week, but the air not pushing down enough to stop some showers developing. In fact, we've got a storm rumbling away to the north of London at the moment, and there's also one up in the Cumbrian Fells, but both of those will disappear overnight tonight. However, some of that mist and low cloud will roll in again off the North Sea. And where skies stay clear overnight, it could be quite chilly, temperatures perhaps as low as 8 or 9. Now tomorrow the sunshine will make short shrift of that low cloud, burning it back to North Sea coast through the morning. But once again, during the late afternoon and the evening, the chance of some showers developing, particularly over the higher ground in the west, and rather like today, there's always the potential for the odd isolated thunderstorm. Top temperatures will be very similar to today's, but it will be cooler around the coasts, and that's all down to those afternoon sea breezes. That's the forecast. Good night to you.
Remember when Alan Hansen was still in shorts? When Garth Crooks let his feet do the talking? When English teams were feared in Europe? And sadly, so were the fans. Match of the 80s, tomorrow, 10:40 on BBC1.
Together they've written the finest comedy.
Did you two see a series in it? And we said, oh, of course.
Where does Thelma think you are tonight? Evening classes again?
They wrote the scripts and you just picked them up and did them. Is this going to take long, Blanco? And my foot's gone to sleep, I'd like to catch it up, you know what I mean?
Created unforgettable characters.
Me joy, me hope, me note.
They laugh a lot at their own scripts.
Now Hollywood's calling.
I think the next 3 or 4 years could be fantastic.
Whatever happened to Clement and La Frenais? Omnibus tonight, 10:45 on BBC1. Heartache in store for the Bennett family first on BBC1 in our final feature episode of Pride and Prejudice.
I hear your cousin, Mr. Collins, is engaged to be married.
Yes, to my good friend Charlotte Lucas.
And now Mr. Bing.
And details of a multimedia education pack for schools, colleges and libraries on Pride and Prejudice can be found on CFAX, page 624.
1966.
People can't see how the big issues connect with our lives anymore.
Make them see.
And our friends in the north are moving on.
I'm pregnant again.
Oi! You might have it up there, Nicky. But I've got it down here.
There's a long campaign ahead against the police.
Nobody will ever clean up the Met.
Against the criminal elements.
It's me, Geordie!
Geordie, where are you? I want to be in on everything. Really everything or nothing.
Mouth shut.
Our friends in the north hit the swinging 60s. Saturday at 9:30 on BBC2.
Surgery and seduction. A young doctor is about to come down with a love bug in his own hospital. Michael Craig is that doctor in love. Comedy at 11:35. A couple of likely lads now on BBC1. Dick Clement and Ian La Frenais come up with all the best lines and a few strong words as Omnibus profiles Britain's most successful writing duo.
The wonderful thing about Dick and Ian is they're probably, if not the 2 greatest, television writers that we ever had in Britain. They're in the top half dozen there.
Oh, I see. You see yourself as working class now, Fletcher, do you?
Yeah? At least I used to, till I went up to Glasgow once. Now I see myself as middle class.
What they've done best in domestic TV here is to shine the light on working class men under pressure.
How can I take you into people's homes looking like that? They wouldn't know how to react. Sherry for you, Bob? And what will your friend here have? Meths?
If you look at Dick and Ian,
Dick is so sort of still like, you know, middle-class BBC sort of person. And Ian is, you know, was from Whitley Bay. Up in Newcastle, he's a Geordie.
I mean, where you come from, son, the equivalent of caviar is Branston bloody chutney, isn't it?
Aye, I suppose where you come from, it's candlelit dinners, is it? The mug of sherry. They're so quintessentially Englishman, a northern one and a southern one. It's just, it shouldn't work, but it works incredibly well.
Dick and Ian were very well established in British television. You know, they'd written Porridge, they'd written The Lucky Lads, they'd written Alvida's Impet. But they didn't have that thing that I think they really wanted, which is to go up into the Premier Division, if you like, and say, okay, we're now screenwriters.
Their ambition was always in films. They wanted to be film writers of films, and if you want to be in the film business, Los Angeles is the place to be.
A lot of people come to this town, want to be screenwriters, want to be directors, want to be producers. Unfortunately, they don't have the talent to do it. Dick and Ian have the talent.
This was last year, right? And just we pan over here, and this, with the 2 on the end, is next year.
They've been together almost 30 years. It's a marriage. And like most marriages, we don't know what goes on behind closed doors. A bit of a mystery, but it works.
Kind of like the feeling that black Americans meeting girls from Africa somehow.
With Cockney accents.
If I had to say which of their characters were them, I would say that definitely Wayne was Ian.
Which cologne is guaranteed to send your average Scandinavian into a frenzy?
And funnily enough, the character that I would most associate with Dick would be Mr. Mackay.
Is there a problem, Mr. Buerk?
Yes, Mr. Mackay, something has come up.
Oh, really?
Yes.
I think he's more Mr. Barraclough, actually, because there's something slightly apologetic about Dick.
We can't let these people intimidate us.
Well, it's all very well you talking like that. He's pointing a gun at my head. You know, Ian La Frenais is more... Although he's a very bright and educated fellow, he has a kind of laddish side.
Shearer shock. Desperate. This is really terrible news. Shearer's captain.
They're both very keen on sport.
Look at this!
Nice. I know that all the characters, or most of the characters in Porridge, are named after footballers.
Oh! It's a great working-class escape sport, that and rock and roll.
No doubt you get round to that sooner or later.
I love Ian's obsession with rock and roll. He's the ultimate rock groupie, he really is.
Well...
La Frenais and I both would like to be skinny-thighed lead guitarists. And Dick would be horrified if anybody offered him a job remotely like that, you know. He could maybe manage a band, you know, along with Tom Hanks.
You know that wonderful voice of the Holy Ghost?
They're very contrasting characters. I'd love to sit in on one of the writing sessions and when they're first dreaming up the characters and see them play off each other. I can imagine that there's probably a lot of the Likely Lads set up in there.
I met Dick in a pub. It was in Notting Hill. I've forgotten the name of the pub. That's terrible.
It was in the Uxbridge Arms in Notting Hill Gate. And we used to go around to his flat and play cards all day.
Bay 18s. Sorry, lads.
He seemed very well informed. You know, he had a Guardian tucked in his pocket. And he ate out a lot.
Some vegetables for you, sir? No, thank you. Just a green salad, tossed. And, no potatoes. And would you open the wine now so it could breathe? Of course.
You know, he talked about how good the cassoulet was at the Bistro Vino the next morning.
We just hit it off. It's hard to say why anybody hits it off. And then when we started writing together, you know, it became very apparent to us that it was a very comfortable process. And then I got on the director's course at the BBC, and at the end of that, they gave you £100 and a studio and a day and a crew, and they said, do something. So we took a sketch that we'd done called Double Date, which was two guys talking about their evening and the two girls.
There's nothing wrong with her, is there?
What? No, she's all right.
No, there's bound to be a catch somewhere. Something even her best friends won't tell her.
Oh, I'm telling you, she's all right.
Hey.
What?
Yours is called Deirdre.
Deirdre? Dear me.
BBC2 was about to start up, so they were desperately short of new programmes. I mean, the timing was very, very propitious. And we were hauled in... I went on holiday on the Norfolk Broads and was hauled back to meet Michael Peacock. And he said, did you two see a series in it? And we said, oh, of course. I mean, we'd never dreamed of making it a series. I mean, nothing had been further from our mind. So we walked out of the office and he'd commissioned 6 scripts, which was suddenly, you know, we were writers.
And I don't think either of us really were quite certain we could do it. But we did. When young people ask you, how do you get into writing, how does it start, it's just such an untypical answer. You know, my partner did an exam and someone thought it would make a television series. Shit.
I'll have cheese and biscuits.
Right, that's 2 and 6, 3 and 9.
You don't take travellers' checks, do you? See, it's a bit different from where we've come from, and it don't take any chances, do they? Untouched by human hand.
4, Bob, 5. That's right, we got an ape in the kitchen.
They write wonderful characters. They're middle-class English guys, and yet they write really great working-class characters.
Well, at least I've been somewhere now. Abroad. Not just in England. I've seen how other people live. Eating their food.
I'll give you an example of the writing. In the very first script, we were sitting in a railway station buffet. And I said to Terry Collier, I said, it's pointless. It was absolutely pointless you going abroad. You made no effort to eat the food or speak the language. And who did you meet on the beach? Rita. Rita from Barrow-in-Furness.
You was all right, Rita. Yeah, but Barrow-in-Furness, I ask you.
Every hour went out with plenty of women.
Every one an English subject. Here, you could tell them a mile off. English girls abroad, with appealing shoulders and flowery dresses. Like wallpaper on the march.
Like wallpaper on the march. Well, what a line.
She's a bit scraggy around the hips.
Never. Just right. She's all there. Long hair down here. Oh, gets me, that. Mine, Pat's all right, too.
Not bad. Nice face.
Yeah.
Good figure.
Yeah. Good teeth, too.
Eh.
What's the matter with you?
You two, where are you taking them tonight? Smithfield Market?
Our approach was that we could create a comedy out of what seemed to be natural speech.
She's a nice girl, Pat.
Of course she is. Good legs, too.
Can't you think about higher things for a change?
Yeah, they're not bad at all.
We've always read the scripts a lot. We've always read them out loud, because you're writing for the spoken words, you better hear it. All right, so this is sort of fairly new to us. Let's just check this scene.
And he says, we got a break last night, we had a run-in with another shooter who smoked you. We called this guy Baz, he picked him up this morning. And the nurse comes in. Not much you can do about this, is there?
No, I don't think so.
It's good.
No, it's pretty good. It's pretty funny. Why are you doing that for?
About making I might shut him up.
Shut myself in hope for.
Now we're going from black to Irish.
I think that's slightly tighter.
No,
but I think it's slightly better, actually.
Yeah.
People used to say to me, do you add bits or subtract things? And I don't think we ever added a comma.
It's not a decent place to take a woman to. And we've got the roughest dancers in the country.
Not to mention the roughest football team.
You like it here?
Why, aye, man. It's champion.
Seeing the Likely Lads and hearing James Bolam's speech patterns and the writing and the local accent was the first time I ever remember thinking, oh, I could be a professional actor, that my accent's not going to get in the way.
The North was quite glamorous at the time in a strange way because of the movies that had been made up there, Saturday Night, Sunday Morning and Kind of Loving and that sort of thing. And the North seemed real, and it was a whole world that I wasn't in touch with.
Did you score?
Oh, come on. Standing there next to a flipping milk machine? What do you think I am, Mighty Mouse? Did I score? Huh.
Dick and Ian were the first people to try to bring a filmic sensibility into comedy. So they were, the next stage in the evolution, so they were the warm-blooded dinosaurs who turned into birds and flew.
You didn't then?
Well, did you?
Well, you know. Well, I was doing all right till you came nosing round. You put me right off.
The Like Lads were about boys in their early 20s, which was really like us. And then we thought, now we'd like to write a series about people in their 30s.